Hello students, now we are going to discuss about second useful microorganisms, that means rhizobium. Okay, from page number 89, from here we will start rhizobium symbiotic bacteria. Also we will discuss about why rhizobium called symbiotic bacteria. Okay, so let's start from here. Take a plantlet of fenugreek, groundnut or any other bean and sterilize it with 3 to 5% solution of hydrogen peroxide. Okay. To observe this bacteria, we have to find plantlets, bean, okay, like fenugreek, groundnut, etc. and sterilize it with 3 to 5% solution of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide we have to use to clean the roots of this plant, right? The soil particles or mold, we can clean it by using hydrogen peroxide. After the sterilization with hydrogen peroxide, we have to keep it in a 70% solution of ethyl alcohol for 4 to 5 minutes. Now what is the purpose behind to use ethyl alcohol? Ethyl alcohol is one of the disinfectant, some microorganisms, okay, which are present at the surface of the roots, outer side. So we can kill them by using ethyl alcohol. Then clean the roots with sterile water and take thin section of the root nodules. After ethyl alcohol, clean it with sterile water and take a thin section of the root nodules. Root nodules figure is given here. Okay, so take thin section of root nodules. Select good section and place it in a solution of safranine for 2 to 3 minutes. Now after cleaning, proper cleaning, keep it in a safranine solution. For what? To get the color. So colorful bacteria we can easily observe under the microscope. That is the reason we have to use safranine for this reason. Place the stained section on the glass slide, cover it with a cover slip and observe it under the compound microscope. Okay, we have to observe this section under the compound microscope. What we will observe, the pinkish rod shaped organisms are rhizobia, okay, or rhizobium bacteria. So those bacteria are called rhizobium bacteria. One note is given. For this purpose, we have to search root nodules of leguminous plants to obtain these bacteria. Okay, if you want to observe rhizobium bacteria, we have to take the section of nodules of leguminous plants only. Okay, because they are present in the nodules of leguminous plants like beans, soya bean plant, then groundnut, etc. Okay, now one question is given here: are the rhizobium bacilli useful to these plants or harmful? This bacteria present in the nodules of the leguminous plants, root nodules of the leguminous plants, are this bacteria or bacilli useful to these plants or harmful? It is given in the next para. Okay, are these bacteria useful to or harmful? Role and importance of rhizobium. Now this is very important. Students, rhizobium we have discussed in previous lesson also, nitrogen fixation. Okay, this is brought by some bacteria, rhizobia. Okay, so that means what? These are useful bacteria, and how they are useful to the plants also we will discuss about it here. Rhizobia living in root nodules supply nitrates, nitrites and amino acid to that plant and in exchange get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. Okay, rhizobia, these bacteria are present in the root nodules. They supply nitrates, nitrites and amino acid and in exchange of that they get energy from the plants. So such mutual beneficial relationship is called symbiosis, and that is the reason they are called as a symbiotic bacteria. Okay, why? Because of their mutual relationship with the plants. They supply nitrogenous compound to the plants, and in exchange they get energy from the plants in the form of carbohydrates, and that is the reason they are called as a symbiotic bacteria. Okay, and this is called symbiosis. This relationship is called as the symbiosis. Rhizobia produce nitrogenous compounds from atmospheric nitrogen. However, for this process of nitrogen fixation, they need leguminous plants like beans, sweet peas, soybean, etc. As a host, beans and pulses are rich in proteins due to nitrogenous compounds made available by the rhizobia. Rhizobia, they produce nitrogenous compounds from atmospheric nitrogen. The nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, living organism cannot use that nitrogen which is in a atmosphere. After the fixation, this nitrogen convert into nitrogenous compound, and then only we can use it, right? So for this purpose, this type of bacteria are useful. Okay, and for the nitrogen fixation, this bacteria needs some leguminous plants like sweet pea, then soya beans, etc. They use as a host plants. Okay, beans and pulses are rich in proteins due to nitrogenous compounds made available by the rhizobia. The question is given here. Beans and pulses are rich in proteins. Why? Because beans and pulses are leguminous plants, and rhizobia present in the root nodules of these plants produce nitrogenous compounds from the atmospheric nitrogen, and therefore beans and pulses are rich in proteins due to nitrogenous compounds made available by the rhizobia. Okay, so here are two questions. Why rhizobium called symbiotic bacteria, and second one, why beans and pulses are rich in proteins. Okay, you will get answer in the last paragraph.